Thanks for tuning in to the Earleg Athlete YouTube. We're going to be uploading twice a week, every Monday and Thursday. Enjoy the content. Tarkov is a beta, and they need time to be able to work on Tarkov. Even if it's not constant updates for us, you got to consider that they're always in the background working on this, trying to fix this backdoor, trying to fix this bug, trying to, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, there's so much shit going on in Tarkov, like so much to it. The game is not a simple game.
and we know they have a big studio now, not a bit like huge, but a pretty decent sized studio. People working on as much things as possible. They're working on another game for us. Like, it's just crazy that like everyone's so concerned in the immediate right now. It's like, just give it time. Just wait.
Well, and I just feel like most people don't like understand the obvious. It's like there's a reason that every one of us love this game and play it every day. Like, yeah, everyone gets frustrated, but there's a reason why this game is so unique compared to other games. And if you're playing this game every day, but you don't have the ability to see like why you're playing it every day,
why you still enjoy it,
then it's like you should take a minute to like sit back and think about that, because
go play another game. You know,
look at what they release every year. All these big, huge billion-dollar studios. Look at what games they release every year, and then they release another version the next year, another version the next year.
Tarkov has never really regressed in progress either.
No.
You know, I don't feel like they've ever been like we've had some bad wipes.
It's just crazy. 10 years.
Yeah. When throughout this journey, when have you learned to not trust BSG?
Right.
Other than them wanting to make money because they are a game studio and they weren't, you know, the most
they tried to make money.
forthright note. Yeah.
One time they tried to make money, and everyone went nuts. Like, oh, I can't believe you tried to make money. It's like, dude, in 10 years.
And you can use the old, well, what are they going to do next year? You know, it's like, yeah, sure. But even if they do a pack a year where it's like, hey, here's these new outfits, here's this new cosmetic shit.
Right.
How does that really affect the gameplay loop?
It doesn't. And that's way better than them just dropping Tarkov and being like, oh, okay, Tarkov's finished, working on Tarkov 2. And then everything new, you have to rebuy. And you know what I mean? It's like, that's what most studios would do.
Right.
Once they
exactly
found
what most
a money
studios
maker.
do.
Yeah, if it's a corporate studio that's like a large corporation, Tarkov would not exist.
No.
Because as soon as they seen that the money was there,
this game's been too much trouble.
They would have just said, all right, drop that one. We're switching to number 2.
Hype this one up real big,
and then we'll just get money from everyone again, and then we'll start 3, and then we'll start 4. And Tarkov would have died when it was probably about 3 or 4 years old, and it would have had, you know, a couple maps and, you know, a couple
a bunch of battle pass mechanics and pay to win options.
That's what drives me crazy.
Yeah, it would have been a silly situation.
I just don't understand how people don't see that. Like, how they don't understand that that's what most studios nowadays do. Like, there's a reason BSG didn't do that, and that's because they truly love the game they're making and they want to make it the best they can. Like Kita said that a million times, like, I'm not just gonna throw this game out there and leave it. Like, I'm making the game that I want to make, and it's gonna take time, effort, money. Like,
if anything, that just makes you appreciate it more, or at least should make you appreciate it more. The whole process, the way it all comes together.
Right. When I sit back and think, like, they made this game just out of thin air. Like, where did they come up with these concepts and these ideas and this whole freaking world?
Yeah, they base some of it off of Stalker, you know.
Some off Stalker, some
which, cool. A lot of games do, too.
Like, they already had a Tarkov universe with Contract Wars and a few other, but it was, like, nowhere near as laid out as this is.
Yeah, for anyone that doesn't know, Contract Wars was like a Call of Duty-esque, maybe more on the lines of CSGO.
And it was kind of fun. Like, I played a good bit of it. Contract Wars and there's another one too. Contract Wars, there was 2 just like arena type shooters that BSG, they weren't lead developer on, but they were like developers. Like, they worked with it, they helped.
Right.
And they were in the Tarkov universe. Like, there already was a Tarkov universe.
Yeah, you can see the relation to Tarkov already just watching a little bit of the Contract Wars stuff.
Yeah, there's USEX bears, there's a lot of the same armor, guns, like, it's got the same lore, some of the traders. You can tell BSG had their hands on it, and they were kind of laying the groundwork.
I mean, they still have their hands on it.
Right.
On the client, it's got Battlestate Games right there, or on the website.
Yep, that was, it was pretty fun. It just, lack of players was the big thing, because they were just not known, you know what I mean? So there weren't very many people playing. And honestly, though, I enjoyed it. Like, it had an unlock system like your normal Call of Duty.
You guys, you see the parts on the scar? Oh wait, is that still in the game? Is the contract? Would they changed it, right? It's the 2K stuff now, right?
The Contract Wars one is gone. Yes,
Yeah,
I think it's gone.
in its place. I haven't seen it. I don't know. I think we got the 2K stuff instead.
Yeah, there's still a version of it that you can buy, but I don't know if it's called the Contract Wars one. It's the one with the Fleer on it. I think you can trade a MCB and a something else to someone. I can't remember who, but you can trade it to him for
Skier?
maybe.
I think it's Skier.
I think it's pretty much the Contract War scar.
It's not Skier. It is a 5.56 weapon. It probably is mechanic. Yeah, there it is. They used to have a gun, a scar specifically named the Contract Wars. It was pretty cool.
Which I'm sure they'll, once the game's finished, probably tie in some Contract Wars stuff. Like, you can go download Contract Wars on Steam right now and play it.
Yeah, yeah.
It's free.
But yeah, they have consistently, BSG has consistently progressed forward every time. Even with the bad wipe, something good comes from it. We gain something for the next one. I feel like on full release, like, I just don't see how the game could be bad.
Right. I just feel like,
unless if the cheating situation doesn't get resolved, that's obviously always going to be the ruiner of Tarkov.
it is, but I don't think it's ever going to be resolved just because of how old of an engine this game is on. I just don't think it's possible because there's so many vulnerabilities,
Right.
so many backdoors. But like, I just feel like I trust BSG. Like, they've made enough pro player decisions, negative to money making decisions, when they could have went the
Right.
opposite way. That it's just like, okay, they're a whole different kind of company. They're not like most, and they've proven that over and over and over. They had millions and millions of rubles that they could have just milked.
True. Yeah.
That's why I don't get, like, I don't understand the people that's like the cheating stuff. Like, oh, BSG was, it's like, if BSG wanted money, they had a million
would
better
sell shit.
routes to go than to
Yeah.
keep cheaters.
Yeah, it's not right.
Like Nikita says a lot of times,
That loses money in
that's
the
his,
long run.
this is his baby. He does not want cheaters running the game. Like, it's not it's not part of his plan to have cheaters just running the game for people. It makes no sense.
Yeah. To make more money. Oh, they're buying accounts. Yeah. Yeah, unfortunately so. And that is, I'm sure, nice, and for the pockets at least. But knowing what it's for, knowing what it's doing to the game, I don't see how you could enjoy it from any perspective.
I am someone from BSG, I can't remember who said it, but they said basically that they were asked by somebody like, do you guys think you make more money off cheaters rebuying accounts than new players actually coming to the game? And they said we lose money off every cheater, because for every one cheater, like 10 people quit the game.
10 people quit. Yeah.
So it doesn't matter if that cheater gets banned 4 times and rebuys the account 4 times. They lost 10 players.
All it takes is one raid to ruin multiple people's experience.
They lost 10 players for that 4 accounts that dude bought, so they're still down 60 accounts. So it's like, they would have to, it would have to be a really crazy plan to try to like make money
manipulate
like
the
that.
cheater versus active player count to balance it just right. Like, that's absurd to even consider that.
It's not just BSG who controls the anti-cheat. You know what I mean? BSG has a say in it, but they hire companies to do it for them. Because they can't just make it where they're letting cheaters go by, because they're not controlling it. Like, it's BattleEye, it's there's another company they hired not too long ago that's doing like back end stuff. Like, so it's like it's not BSG that's doing most of the stuff. It's BattleEye. So it's like BattleEye would have to be in cahoots with BSG, letting, you know what I mean? Like, it just there's a lot of weird shit that would have to happen.
Right.
It sounds cool, but it's just not true.
It's just it's not. Yeah, it's not a viable option in any way, shape, or form. It's kind of it's absurd. It really is.
It's negative press.
That leads me into the next question of, do you believe BSG when they say, give them a little time, we're cooking something up as for like dealing with cheaters, or at least a chunk of the cheaters?
I do, and I would say
do you think they've got something?
I think it shows already, because 2 wipes ago it was awful. Like, it was the worst I've ever seen. It was awful. Like,
I know I've only got like half your time,
but yeah, 2 wipes ago, there's a lot of people don't remember. Like, you would see people flying around the map, like a whole map, you would just get wiped instantly. Like, I haven't ran into that. I don't play PvP near as much, but when I did, I haven't ran into that in a long time. You know what I mean?
I was gonna say, wipe started fine for me. I ran into out of getting to level 20 and doing all the shit, and tasking on all these maps with all these other players, maybe 2 hackers, maybe.
Right.
And one of them was probably questionable.
Right.
One of them could have been decent, probably. It's like,
Well, you look at Activision with Warzone. Warzone's their cash cow. They do
right.
not want cheaters ruining it. But guess what? They have not been able to
Cheaters
stop
are
it.
absolutely ruining
Yeah,
it.
and that's
the thing of online gaming, period.
Yeah, that's
though.
just the way it
always
is.
has been, always will be.
CSGO right now, it's infested. Like, and
Getting it under control to a point, that's really the idea.
like Valve did so good with the original CSGO, and then when they dropped CSGO 2, it just got infested. You just almost couldn't play it. Even Valorant started out like a great anti-cheat. Well, eventually they cracked it, and now there's cheaters all over Valorant.
Think about for each person that's actually out here coding these anti-cheats and working on them and always making all these updates. There's 10 people trying to crack it.
Right, and those are all free games, so it's like
those
are games that what I mean. Like the developer
low incentive
is there's no incentive for the developer to like, hey, let's make money off selling more accounts. They just can't control it. And they're, like I said, studios with way more money, way more people.
Yeah.
When you go back and you watch the Raid series, like I talked about, and you see all the stuff that's coming in game now that they had hooked up 3-5 years ago.
Right. It makes me want to go back and rewatch and see if there's anything like spoiled.
Yeah,
still.
It lets you know that BSG's not just playing shit by like
loose and off the seat of their penises.
Oh, let's add this to do this, let's add this. All this shit's been planned for a long time. Hell
yeah, it has. He's got a giant thick ass book and it is full of handwritten and typed up notes. I love it.
Yeah, so it's like there's nothing's been done to like increase cheaters or to increase like people buying more accounts. Like
I don't
like everything's had a plan.
I almost discredit anyone that tries to argue that that is
I do too.
Their goal. It's like, no, that's ignorant. When Tarkov's in a good place, it gets so many new players just constantly. But yeah, let us know what your thoughts are in the comments, and we'll catch you Thursday.